Hello everybody, Stringfellow here. Gonna be playing some more Smite Jungle, this time with Bakasura. There are two really cool skins for Bakasura. There is Death Machine, which I'll be using today, and there is Feaster Bunny, which is just epically cool. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of a mechanized Terminator-esque looking. I like it a lot. So anyway, I'm going to do the standard jungle start. Now this god is different in that it's all about the basic attacks in terms of inflicting maximum damage. So the builds are going to be the standard here. I'm going Warrior Tabi for Pen. I'm going Hasten Fatalis, which doesn't provide power but provides 30% attack speed, 10% movement speed, and a passive, which means if you hit him with a basic, you basically get to go after him faster. Now, I'm going Jotun's Wrath more for the power and the penetration than I am for the cooldown. But cooldown helps in this case. Chin size so I can box, and then crit items, Rage and Deathbringer, which work better when they're together in most cases. So I'm going to boogie on down to my spot, get started, and nail some stuff. Now, I find Bakasura slow and boring early game. But I don't rush Hasten Fatalis or another attack speed item like that. I go ahead and stick with the standard boots meta because I need that combination of power and movement speed. Okay, now his 2 is called Eat a Minion. And basically it heals you, gives you protections. And so when I go up to a jungle camp, I press 2. You see there's a little indicator box in blue here. You walk up to the minion, you click, boom, he eats him. And that engages the camp as if it were an attack. And what that does is it stacks his passive, which I'll explain in a bit, and it also heals and gives him slight protections. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit C, even though you can eat a minion to get health back, because that consumes mana. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm just going to fight. What his passive is, you can eat up to 6 minions or camp monsters, and they can only be of a certain size. You have to get their health down to a certain point, or their health points down, before you can eat them. You can stack that up to 6 snacks big, so you have up to 6 of those snackies in your tum-tum. And then when push comes to shove and you do your ultimate, you can have these miniature little Bakasuras running after the target, inflicting damage. So you want to try to maximize your passive as much as you can by eating minions at every normal opportunity. Now these minions I don't even mess with, because there's a thing where if you get it down to a certain level you can eat it, but I always seem to misjudge it and it costs me. I'm not sure why. All right. Wow, where's my players there? Now I'm screwed. I can't really do much here. This is very odd to have somebody disappear. Now see, I ate the minion, gave me health. Okay, he froze me. I hate you. Now his 1 is a jump. His 3 is called Butcher's Blades. And it passively gains physical power. When activated, he gains additional true damage on each strike for the duration. True damage bypasses any protections, such as, Hide of the Urchin or whatever the case is. It just does raw, gnarly damage and you're screwed. So he can be really, really tough in certain situations, and you just can't stop him. And once he gets rolling, and you got a player with fast reaction time, he can just be devastating, both in the jungle and in solo lane, although they did nerf his attack speed a while back, his base attack and movement speed, I believe. And that was frustrating because it made him a little less viable, and he's not played that often in the jungle anymore. But I like him because he, I don't know, this skin, I think that's the deal. If I had to play him without the skin, I wouldn't play him. This one or the Feaster Bunny skin I like. Alright, now I have all 6 of my passive stacked, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to use that passive in the future. or use that function of eating minions in the future, because it still gives you health even if your passive is stacked. Alright, there you go. I've got my boots 2, which is 10 physical power, 6 attack speed, and 12 movement speed, all of which help this particular god. But I'm going to also go Hasten Fatalis. Well, I don't... Is it Hasten? Yeah, there used to be 2 kinds of Fatalis. Alright, I'm going to go and get my buff, my jungle buff. For speed, I'm going to go drop the blue on the left, and then see, because I'm at level 5 and I'm fully stacked on the passive, if I can do anything in the left lane to accomplish a gank. So I'm going to go eat, just because it also means less people to fight. I'm going to hit my 3 so I can do true damage to the minions. Basically, it just gets the job done faster. Now, I didn't jump into this camp because I don't want to suck up mana early. And since I can always eat a minion like I will here in lane, I can get my health back up. So here we go. I have my hog. Now I'll jump. Then I'll hit my hog. Then I'll eat it. Okay, now I dropped that for the person in lane. I don't know if I can do anything here because they just got a kill. Maybe I can do some tower damage, but I kind of doubt I want to mess with that. Yeah, I don't. It's in a bad position, so I'm just not going to mess with it. But I did my job. I dropped the blue buff and looked in lane to see if there was anything that needed to be done. Nothing did need to be done, therefore I just booked. So now with Bakasura, since I have this jump, I'm going to counter jungle. And that person didn't know I was coming, and I just jumped over the wall. It gives me quick they probably thought I was going for mid camps, but I jump over the wall very quickly, very easily. I don't have to go around, so I can bypass some of their wards depending on where they are. They have to place their wards carefully in order to catch me in that situation. They have to be careful to make sure they get the back end covered. And if they don't, then I can steal the buff, which I just did. Okay, so I'm going to jump in on these. Boom. And hit 3. And just pound on them. I'm saving my hog for the other side. Because I'm assuming if I just stole the jungle buff, then my decision was based on the part that the jungler wasn't even over on this side of the map. So I expected the contestation to be less. Hebo was back towards his tower, and I just didn't anticipate any problems. But now, with things going on, you never know. And now that I have hog up, I'm just going to use it. Because it's faster to clear the camp. And this is the side next to the duo lane where the support could rotate over and help contest the mid camps. So solo laners don't usually come over to contest mid camps, but supports with the roaming support meta, they do. Alright, now I'm going to pop across here, get the small experience camp, and then I'm going to go drop the blue buff for the solo laner. So you jump, you eat, and you hit your 3. Or in, however you want to do it. If you're facing a big camp, you may want to jump, hit your 3, then eat. Alright, jump. And I'm going to pound them, and then I'm going to take one of them out, and I'm going to hit Butcher's Blades. And then I just back off, drop it, and what I will do is check the lane. To see if there's anybody in there, and that gives them the opportunity. If somebody was there, it would give them the chance while I'm holding lane for them to go in, get the buff, and not lose space on the lane or the minions or whatever. Not lose space. Not lose time and not have the wave pushed unnecessarily. So I'm basically protecting them while they can go and get the buff. Alright, somebody's coming. I am low on mana. So I'm going to book on out of here. All the camps are down. All the buffs are down except the red buff. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my Warrior Tabi, which are pen boots. And I'm going to start tier 1 of the Fatalis, which is Ancient Blade, 10% attack speed, 4% movement speed. And then I'm going to book it. Again, my passive is stacked at 6. So if I do ults Wow, go on, you got his ass kicked that soon. Alright, now I'm going to head over to the right and get the red buff. Then I'm going to start ganking since my passive is stacked. I'm not as worried about jungle buffs and such right now. I'm going to start looking for this character, with ganks. Because my passive is stacked. It's just that simple. And I have movement speed of first level of Fatalis. Alright, so I've got power. I'm up at 60 physical power, but this god works a little differently. Now I'm going to go around the outside edge here. Oh my god. Well, that sucked. Alright. Now you see those little minion things? You see those little Bakasura minion things? See? They're inflicting damage. There you go. But those little 6 versions that look like me, they inflict damage. And the more you have, the more damage they inflict. I've actually seen situations where those little minion things kill somebody under the tower and in lane.